Here is a breezy bell sleeve top you'll want to live in. Hey guys, I'm T, maker of 657 patterns and tutorials. Welcome back to the channel. Today's tutorial is simple, airy, and a little dramatic. We're making a drapey bell sleeve top with an easy relaxed body and big swoopy sleeves for some flair. Along the way, we'll learn the secret to managing tons of stitch markers with one easy strand, paired with my favorite way to tie a secure knot that only takes 20 seconds. If you're new here, welcome. I share cozy crochet tutorials every single week, so tell a friend, tap the bell, and subscribe so you never miss a new upload. And if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up or 2 thumbs down if you don't. Either way, it helps keep these tutorials free. Any category 3 yarn will work. I used about 220 grams. That's about 790 yards if you're stateside, along with a 5.5 and 10mm hook to get that loose and gappy drape. Pattern link below. Use offer code TCDDIY for discount on orders over $9.99 and stay to the end for this week's pattern giveaway. We're using all basic stitches today. They're all on screen now, so pause here to check it out. And if you're new to crochet, don't worry about it. I'll walk you through every single step. This tutorial is made for a size small. We can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so without further ado, here's how to crochet your very own dreamy bell sleeve top. We're getting started with the front panel, and it's as easy as it gets because it's a straight rectangle. We're all going to grab our category 3 yarn, make a slip knot. Then grab our 10mm hook and start with a chain that reaches from the top of our shoulder down to your hips for a full length top like mine, or you could make it longer for a really cute dress too. Completely up to you. And make sure you keep track of this chain because the back panel is going to be done exactly the same way. Now my chain is going to be a chain of 55. This length is just about 23.5 inches or 60 centimeters. Now to get a clean edge, we're going to work our first row in the back bumps. So with the entirety of our chain, we're going to block off that last chain and chain 3. That chain 3 is going to be our turning chain for our extended half double crochet. Yarn over and into that 4th chain from our hook, we're going to work into the back bumps. So this is the top of our chain. We're going to flip our chain over to find these individual bumps into the back. Working in that back bump only, we're going to yarn over and pull through to get 3 loops on our hook. Then these are going to be rows of extended half doubles. So how to do that is yarn over, pull through just that first loop to extend the half double crochet. We should still have 3 loops, then yarn over, pull through all 3. That is 1 extended half double worked into the back bump. Once more, yarn over into that next chain's back bump, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 3. And this is what we're working until the end of the row. Now working extended half double crochets gives your stitch just a little bit of extra height so that the row stacks a little bit more evenly. It also opens up the fabric just to keep everything soft and flexible. And you know, sometimes we run into knots that we made years ago and we got to deal with them. Thankfully, I found a knot that I actually like. It's super secure, super clean, and it's super fast. Like 20 seconds to do fast. Cross the right strand underneath the left and pinch it with your thumb and your pointer finger. Take the tail end of the right strand, wrap it around everything, pinch it in the back with your middle finger, but bring it in between those 2 ends. And then we're going to pinch it again with our thumb and our pointer finger. We're now going to continue pinching, but we're going to take our pointer finger away. So pull that slowly outwards so that we now have a big enough gap to thread the strand underneath the strand that's in front of the thumb underneath that gap. Take that same end, pinch it again. Take the one tail end that we have left, and we're going to pull it upwards, making sure that we're rolling all of these strands on top of each other. So pull it up, and you see this little cluster right here, we're going to start rolling downwards. Now this is the part that could get a little tricky because sometimes they don't roll the right way. So sometimes you have to redo it. But if you did it right, once when you pull upwards with the tail end, then you're going to do another yank with the short tail end on the left side and the long tail end on the right. Pull. You should have a really secure knot. Then at the end of the row, we're going to do more extended half double crochet rows, but now just into the back loops for some flexibility and some texture. So chain 3, that's our turning chain, flip our work, yarn over, into the top of that last stitch from our previous row, bring our hook down, underneath that back loop, yarn over, pull through, and extended half double per usual. Then keep up with our back loop extended half double crochets for pretty much the entire piece, but just for right now, the rest of the front panel. Just extended half double crochets all within the back loops until this piece can now reach from 2 inches past the tip of our shoulder all the way across our chest until we're 2 inches past the tip of our other shoulder. Now as you go, just make sure that you're keeping up with the row and stitch count. Every row should have the same number of stitches as chains that we made, and the row count, that is completely up to you. Just make sure that that final row is an odd number row and that you write that down, because we are going to be making a second panel for the back that's done exactly the same way. So now would be a fun time to turn on your favorite show. I'm probably going to go watch the newest episode of Hometown. And if you've been around since 2019, this piece might look a little familiar to you. We actually wanted to remake this old tutorial. It didn't have a pattern, so we just wanted to give it a little glow up with a proper pattern to go with it. But when this one panel is done, we're going to make a matching second one for that proper even fit. Now once we have both of our panels completed, we can actually seam up the shoulders, which is also going to give us our neckline. But just to let you guys know, I have a total of 25 rows. This width just about 21 inches or 53 centimeters, and that's unstretched. Now you are in control of your own neckline, so you can actually place this closer to the center if you want a smaller, tighter neck hole, or further out if you want a comfier, slouchier neckline. Just remember, your head needs to fit in between our stitch markers. So I went ahead and placed my stitch marker into my 7th side row from the outer edge. They both got a match. That's just about 4 inches or 10 centimeters. Now we're seaming from the outer corner until we're worked into the stitch marker stitch. So placing our hook into the corner stitches, we're going to yarn over and pull through. I'm going to chain 1 just to secure it. Now we're working 2 single crochets into every side row. So into the front panel, which they're actually the same, so just into the panel that is in the front, we're going to find that top loop, insert, find that same edge top loop within the back panel, insert, single crochet once, and we're working 2 to get the same height as the stitch, so into that same side row into the front, same side row into the back, and single again. That second one should be a little bit easier since it should already be gathered. Once more, next side row within the front, next side row within the back, with 1 single, then into the same with just another single. And that's our super simple single crochet sturdy seam. That's going to be worked until we have worked into our stitch marker side row. Then we are going to repeat it on the other side, so make sure that everything is nice and even, but after the second one, don't actually cut because we can work straight into just cleaning up the neckline from there. So we're going to flip our work right side out. So the seams are now going to be along the inside. Now just for the neckline, we're actually going to be switching out to a 5.5 millimeter hook to get the cleanest edge possible. So for this single crochet row, we're going to be working 3 single crochets into each side row. So kind of like the shoulder seam, but not exactly. So since this is my first side row, I'm going to find that top loop and insert with 1, with 2, then with a 3rd single crochet. Again, into the next with 1, 2, and 3. Now the single crochet row just sturdies up the neckline so that it doesn't droop. But since we used a bigger hook for the body, we didn't have to actually cut out a neckline for this crew neck. It'll actually just have a natural drape on its own. Just make sure that when this single crochet row is done, you try our piece on. Make sure that it can still fit over your head, because this is going to be as wide as this can stretch. Then right after this easy little row, we're back to our 10 millimeter hook and we're seaming up the sides. And that's just from the hem up to how wide we want the armhole to be. So right now, just pause and try it on. Place a stitch marker that's roughly maybe like 1 or 2 inches beneath your underarm. I placed mine just about 1 inch beneath. That's about 7 inches or 18 centimeters from the top. And that's just the 15th stitch from the top. Then we're going to do yet another single crochet seam from the hem up to the stitch marker. So let's all flip our work wrong side out again so that our shoulder seams are now back along the outside. And we're going to single crochet all the way up and through both panels at the same time. So into that first stitch into the front, first stitch into the back and single crochet. And that's pretty much it until we reach the stitch marker. Now, since the bottom isn't going to have a bottom border, so I won't have that opportunity to weave in those ends, I'm going to weave in this end right now. So just into that next stitch into the front, next stitch into the back. I'm just going to place my tail end on top of those stitches that I placed my hook into and just single crochet around everything so that it's nice and secure. And we're just going to keep placing our tail end on top of our stitches until there's no more tail end left. Then just continue on with this single crochet seam per usual. And now for the bell sleeves. We're going to start off super simple by flipping our work right side out. Now this is going to be built right off the armhole, which is the fun part because we don't have to sew it in. So start with a chain 3 and work 1 extended half double crochet into every stitch around the armhole. Then to close off the row, it's going to be a simple slip stitch join. So into the top of that chain 3 that we made when we start off this row, find that third chain, insert yarn over and pull through everything on our hook. Now that slip stitch seam gives us an additional stitch. Pull upward on your hook just to make sure that that slip stitch gets a little too small to work into so that we don't think it's an extra stitch. Then repeat this row. So chain 3. We are going to flip our work after every single row and just work 1 back loop extended half double into each stitch to make sure that we're matching up with the body. So no increases, no decreases until this tube can reach our elbow. Then once when the straight tube hits our elbow, it's time to build the bell. And this part is all about even balanced increases. Now we're going to increase into every quarter of the sleeve, which is going to give us that big flowy flare without any math. Now a quick rundown is one row, our increases are going to land right at each quarter. Then for the next row, you're going to increase again, but then in between the quarters. And that tiny little offset is going to keep the bell smooth and round so that it doesn't form any points. So just find your natural quarters. There's going to be a front, side, a back, and a side. We're going to work around, dropping an increase of 2 into every quarter. So just to work the first one, we're going to chain 3 and flip. Into this first stitch, I'm going to drop 2 back loop extended half doubles. So there's 1. Same with the second. And I'm just going to drop a stitch marker into this little cluster that I have right here. Then a back loop extended half into every stitch until we reach the next stitch marker and repeat. So at this next stitch marker, place 2 into this stitch. Then same rules apply for the other stitch markers, just a back loop extended half into every stitch in between the stitch markers. At the stitch markers, an increase until we reach the end of the row. Now at the end of each of these rows, we should have 4 more stitches than the last rows. So go ahead and just write down those numbers to make sure that every row is increasing evenly. And now that the first increase row is completed, we're going to basically repeat the same thing, but now with the increases into the stitches in between the quarters. So I'm going to place my stitch markers in between each of these stitch markers from the last row. Now it doesn't need to be exact, just roughly even all the way around. So those are going to be my dark blue stitch markers. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So same exact idea. We're going to chain 3 and flip. Now into this stitch marker, I'm going to insert again with an increase 2 extended half doubles, and I'm going to place a stitch marker into this increase. Then back loop extended half double until we reach our next stitch marker, but remember, we're skipping over the increase from the last row because this is a separate increase row. Work the same way, the increases are just shifted over a little bit. And now it's just going to be a repeat of these 2 rows until we get the total length of the sleeve that we want. So just remember, every row is going to have 4 more stitches than the last row, and that's pretty much it. That's going to give us a nice and even flowy bell sleeve. Now a quick little upgrade for your workflow is a lifeline stitch marker. So instead of clipping a bunch of individual stitch markers into every increase for the shaping, we're going to run a long strand through the stitches we want to keep track of so that it stays put, it doesn't snag, and it gives you a super clear visual of where the increases land. So I'm going to chain 3 and flip our work. And since my stitch marker is already into this first increase from not the previous row, but the row right before that, I'm gonna attach my lifeline yarn, then work my increase per usual, but for the last yarn over, I'm gonna pull with the lifeline stitch marker as well. So into that first stitch with one extended half, into that same first stitch, but before we pull through all three, which is the last pull through, I'm gonna grab my lifeline stitch marker, yarn over, and pull through all three. And I'm going to pull that lifeline all the way through and just keep crocheting, doing this for every increase that we have to do. Now the best part of this is that it actually moves with you, and as you work up your rows, the lifeline is going to shift right along the fabric so that you know exactly where to increase. So since our increases shift every row, if we're not doing an increase, I'm not going to pull the lifeline yarn through. But once when I hit the next row, I'm going to know that I need to work an increase into there because the lifeline is going to skip the previous row. And that's pretty much it for the bell sleeve. We're just going to keep repeating these 2 rows with the lifeline stitch marker, or not, that part's completely up to you, until we get the full length of the sleeve. Now with one sleeve completely finished, I actually have a total of 22 rows, and the total length is 19 inches or 48 centimeters. Once we have one completed, make sure we make a matching one on the other side to complete the entire piece. Then the last thing we have to do is simply weave in all of our ends. And that is it. We have our gappy bell sleeve top, and it is officially done. I am so excited with how this turned out because I loved it the first time. I love it equally as much this time. And if you guys do decide to make your own, please post it in our community tab because I would absolutely love to see it. Now enter this week's pattern giveaway for our cuddly cocoon cardigan and our airy bell sleeve mesh stitch shrug. By answering if you could swap lives with a cartoon character for a week, who would it be? Now I did think long and hard about this, and I'm pretty sure that I would like to swap places with Marie from the Aristocats. Now if you love this tutorial, hit that like button and subscribe because we drop fresh patterns every single week. And if you want more, find us on Instagram and TikTok at TCDDIY for behind the scenes content, pattern sneak peeks, and daily crochet inspiration. And if you want extra perks, go ahead and become a channel member. You'll unlock exclusive discounts like up to 50% off patterns and a bunch of fun BTS access. As always, guys, thank you so much for crocheting with us today. Happy hooking, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!